For as long as I have been a journalist, I've done stories about states legalizing pot. For, against, medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, the votes for it. And now, for the very first time, we're going to do a story about a state voting to recriminalize pot. The Free Press reports Massachusetts is thinking of going back to the old days when you couldn't buy pot at your neighborhood dispensary. Quote, could Massachusetts become the first state to undo legal weed? Marijuana opponents are racking up wins across the country, thanks in part to Kevin Subet, the bipartisan advisor leading the charge. He is the founder of the Smart Approach to Marijuana Advocacy, and says we have a marijuana industry that is copying the worst of tobacco, alcohol, and opioids in terms of commercializing the substance. I really couldn't care less if, as an adult is, at their house in the country smoking a joint to fall asleep at night. My issue is that we have commercialized an industry whose business is to increase addiction. With us now, Jillian Michaels, host of the Keeping It Real Conversations with Jillian Michaels. Good to see you. I thought pot wasn't supposed to be addictive. Wasn't that the whole pitch?
Oh my gosh, was it? Of course it's addictive. It's actually not good for you at all. And I think one of the problems is that it gets messaged as a health panacea in many cases. Now, if you're a cancer patient undergoing chemo and you need help boosting your appetite, by all means, talk to your doctor, and it can be good for chronic pain management, but this should all be done under medical supervision. It's absolutely addictive and has a host of negative side effects.
Okay. The quote from this guy I thought was stunning. The marijuana industry is copying the worst of tobacco, alcohol, and opioids. What did everybody expect to happen?
I think they expected people to have personal freedom. This went wrong with prohibition. People should be able to do what they want with their body, but it's not being regulated. It's marketed as candy and it has cartoons on it. It's all the same stuff that he's talking about. They're trying to market it to kids. It's much stronger than it used to be. And, you brought up Dr. Drew when we were talking during the break, and he'll tell you how much more dangerous and psychoactive weed is now that it's been legalized. And there are a host of issues. It's actually created a bigger black market because it's so much more expensive legally. So it needs to be regulated more effectively. I personally think that would be the key.
Yeah, I've been told over and over again, it's not our parents' pot. It's not the pot of Woodstock. It's much, much more powerful. Americans' support for weed is down. 2023, 70% of Americans supported legalizing weed, now down to 64%. What do we attribute that to?
I think it's a lot of the stuff that you just mentioned, right? Marketing to kids, it being exceptionally stronger, normalizing it, marketing it as a health aid in numerous ways. But I also think people are kind of sick of smelling weed on the street. You can't walk around in Santa Monica, it reeks of weed. Same in Manhattan. And people are stoned and it's wafting out of their cars and you're with your kids and it's like, come on, dude, really? It's kind of like you don't
you live in California, Jillian. Really, California is going to, all of a sudden recriminalize pot? Like, we're going to put the genie back in the bottle?
I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they should. There's a host of tax dollars, obviously, a bevy of billions that go along with it. But I do think it should be better regulated. And I will mention that I'm coming to you from my studio in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So while I do have to go back to California, there are many reasons I left. And this is a small one. Nobody wants to smell weed on the streets constantly.
Yeah, but now you smell weed on the ski lifts in Jackson. Come on.
No. It's illegal.
Is it not legal there?
Oh, heck no. It's conservative here. No.
Yeah, when I lived in college, I think it's remarkable how this is shifted, right? Because I remember in 2007 doing stories about everybody just fakes having an earache to get a medical marijuana card in Colorado and how easy it was. Now these doctors were just writing prescriptions for it. And now all of a sudden there was this huge rush to legalize it. Now the pendulum swings back. But again, I don't know how you put the genie back in the bottle of you put this whole industry out of business and go back to when pot was illegal and then the cartels take over.
But like everything, it's a U-shaped curve, right? You want people to have personal freedoms. You want to regulate it. You don't want the black market to get completely out of control. You don't want cops going after somebody who's got a joint, wherever they're. Interesting. Well, see, I would not want someone to go to jail or suffer with a low-level crime for choosing to do whatever they want with their body.
Okay, fair enough.
But again, the regulation is just not there. And this is the same issue that you're seeing in blue cities across the country.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.